Good morning, GHMS. This morning we're going to talk about perspective, which is really how we view the world. Has a person ever sat down next to you and started crying, seemed angry, seemed upset, and you wondered, what's going on with this person? Well, sometimes we need to step back, think about things for a while, maybe walk in someone else's shoes, because often there's a reason why people are acting how they're acting, and we call that perspective. And we're going to learn today about how our own biases and our own beliefs can impact how we see the world, and that can be very different than other people. So sit back, please be part of the conversation today, and teachers, you will have to stop this video occasionally for some discussion. I hope that you enjoy this advisory. I guess first, to understand perspective, we need to know what perspective is. The definition of perspective is the viewpoint, position, or lens through which we see the world. Now, there are many things that actually shape our perspective. So our perspective can be based on our beliefs, our attitudes, our biases, and all of those shape the way that we view and interpret the world. It is important to remember that perspective is more than an opinion. It's a viewpoint based on our background. People may have different perspectives on events or issues due to their age, their gender, their social position, their beliefs, and their values. So where we come from and the experiences we have do shape our perspective. I'm sure many of you have actually heard the expression, did you ever walk a mile in someone else's shoes? What do you suppose that means? Teachers, now would be a good time to pause your video and discuss with your advisories. Hopefully you were able to talk about that with your advisory and walking a mile in someone else's shoes. Understanding others can be hard because we don't know what they've been through. We don't have the same experiences, beliefs, same family structure, and even in this school, we didn't even all attend the same elementary school building. So we have different ideas, we learn different things, and we've had different experiences with different socioeconomic groups or diversity than everyone else in our school. Now, what really shapes us? Well, we're probably most impacted by our family and their beliefs and their traditions. But as you know, here at school, we're definitely impacted by our friends, both negatively and positively, and sometimes that can be called peer pressure. Also, our education does make a difference as far as our perspective. The more books we read, the more shows we watch, all of those things can impact our bias and how we think about the world. Also, outside influences are huge these days. Anytime that you are on TikTok or Instagram or any of those, the world is trying to shape how you think about it. So we have to be very, very careful to keep all of these things in perspective when we are thinking about others and how they feel and how they act. The difficult part about perspective is that often people are quick to judge, and maybe we've been guilty of this, or maybe it's happened to us, where people are accusing us of things or pointing fingers at us or saying they just don't understand. Well, keep in mind that we all are different. Not everyone thinks the way we do. They don't always know the whole story. Sometimes we don't know the whole story, and sometimes we're just hearing things through rumors. And your bias to friends and beliefs does impact your understanding. We are going to stand up for our best friend. We're 100% going to stand up for our family. And when people don't understand that, sometimes that's what leads to conflict. So please think about others and the backgrounds that they have before you are quick to judge. Teachers, this morning we're going to take some time to look at some scenarios. So please stop the video as you have to allow your advisory time to go through the scenarios and have discussions. When you're ready, you're just going to hit play and go to the next slide and once again stop it. All right, scenario 1. Think about it and have some discussion. You're at a store and you watch a boy shoplift food and eat it in the store. What is your opinion of the boy? Turn and talk and share with your advisory. All right, hopefully you were able to share some of your thoughts about that boy. But later you find out that the boy is homeless and he hasn't had anything to eat in 2 days. What is your opinion of the boy now? What has changed? Well, your perspective has changed, but let's talk about how it has changed. Teachers, pause the video so you can discuss. All right, scenario 2. Another student comes up and yells at you. You swear you haven't done anything, but they are calling you mean names. What could lead to this? How would you feel? What would you do? Turn and talk with your advisories and teachers. You can stop the video and then start it again when you're ready. For the second half of scenario 2, it later comes out that there was a rumor going around that you were mean to their best friend. Does this new information change how you viewed the situation? How do you feel now? Turn and talk, and teachers, pause the video. All right, last one. The student sitting next to you comes into class and puts their head down, sighs, and doesn't listen to the teacher. Why do you think this is happening? What could be wrong? How would you react? Take some time to turn and talk, and once again, teachers, pause the video. Later, you find out that the student sitting next to you just failed a test last period. Does their behavior make sense now? Why do you think they reacted the way they did? How would you react? Turn and talk. All right, GHMS. Hopefully, this advisory has been helpful. Hopefully now we'll think about how we treat others, and hopefully they'll think about how they treat us. Remember, perspective is how we view the world, and our perspective changes based on lots of things that come into consideration. So, one, don't rush a judgment, because even as hard as that can be, sometimes we jump to conclusions that aren't true. Also, be understanding. Others are dealing with things too, not just us. And finally, don't overreact. Often the whole story, once it's revealed, will allow us to act differently. I really hope that this advisory was helpful, and I hope you have a great day.